All right, welcome in everybody. Shout out to all the fathers today. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there. You're tuning in for Sunday's episode of Daily Bread. So you can lock in the plays with the family, sweat it out in quiet because your family doesn't know that you're a junkie. It is what it is, but you're coming to the number one spot. Let us do the work. You enjoy the day and the outside with the family with Sosa and Rex. We're live on Twitter at Daily Bread Media. Shout out to all of you who have been tapped in with us there. Can't feature your comments, so if you want to be popped up on the show, YouTube is the number one spot to be at Daily Bread Media as well. The show is powered and sponsored by the Wise Guys Diamond Club. Be sure to be sending that at a message to get into that package until the NFL season starts. Good day yesterday on the show. Running it right back with the MLB and the MLS. We only got 4 MLS games to choose from today. Got the full Father's Day slate, so we'll probably see that light blue out in action today. But Sosa, how are you doing?
I'm feeling great, man. It feels great to fade Verlander and be right. Let's lead with that.
2-0 so far from the show, fading Verlander. Watch out, Justin. We on to you.
Both time for a huge plus money. That's the best part. We were clear to everyone that he hasn't faced anyone good. When he faces quality lineups, which doesn't happen often, his stuff can tend to be a little bit fugazi, like we saw yesterday. But yeah, that was a good one, and just looking to build off of that. Basketball
Costanza didn't let us down either. The Brew Crew rocked it. And don't you worry. I already called up Jim Curtin. We missed the MLS sweep by a half a goal. He told me next Sunday, Rex, I know you're going to be in the house. We got you there. Don't you worry. We're facing NYCFC. We'll finally break the 3-goal margin there.
Yes, sir. Oh, man,
Yes, sir. Shout out to all of our commenters. Make sure to be dropping what you're betting on today. Let us know what you're rocking with. If you're tailing, fading, whatever you want to do, this is your chat. And yes, the Yanks with the as dogs was not a trap yesterday. And we're going to end the show with F1. We got to end the show with F1. One of the few Sundays where we're live before the race starts because it's not 6 a.m. or 3 a.m. We'll definitely let you know our thoughts on the Canadian Grand Prix.
Yes, sir. I mean, we all know, but I got to take my fan hat off. In regards,
all right, take your Dodgers hat off then.
No, I mean in regards to the F1 race. Like y'all know I'm very one-sided with my thoughts on F1. Simply because I'm a huge Lewis Hamilton fan. There's no doubting that. Everyone knows I'm the biggest Lewis Hamilton fan on earth. But you'd be surprised as to what my plays are for the race. It's actually. It's honest.
Yeah, he's backing 5-unit whale Max on Verstappen to win.
At least. I mean, at minus 280, like, how can we go wrong? It's a super. All right, let's move on, man.
Yeah, shout out Austin FC. Always got to shout them out. Been our little secret cash cow of the season so far.
Shout out to McConaughey one time. Dude's all over the TV, whether he's at the White House or he's in Austin. Or he's hanging out with college athletes or selling alcohol. Shout out to him.
Yes, sir. Texas, we don't know if they're back. But let's get to the MLB.
That was a lie. That was completely
So we got a good slate. Some of our pitchers to fade, some of our pitchers to back. Steven's been with us for a while, so he already sees Alcantara's on the mound. Maybe he's just rocking it because he likes it, but that's one of Sosa's favorites. But where are you starting us off today?
Funny you bring him up. I think that was one of my favorite plays for today. And that was his pitching outs. The thing is, I can't find it. That's a market that I really I'm just really like now locked in with. Shout out to Kamish and Prop God. They really put me onto that bet. I'm looking at his pitching outs. I mean, the guy's gone 7. I mean, he's just been absolutely lights out. win or lose. I mean, the guy went almost 9 innings his last start, and he just it just seems like when he gets on the mound, they don't really support him with runs. He keeps him in it though. He definitely keeps him in it. I do not think I'll be backing him today. I think this game goes over. I think it's a Sunday. I think that he gives it up. I think Bassett gives up some. I don't think we're headed for this Sunday pitchers duel that everyone expects. It's Father's Day. We're going to see some dingers. I really do believe that. I think today will be an offensive day in baseball. I'm on the Mets team total today, so I'm actually fading Sandy. Yeah, I know people probably think that's weird, but I'm fading Sandy. You're going to get me the Mets at over 3.5. I like their lineup today. I think that the Mets go out here and get to Alcantara. And this is just like I said. This is just like yesterday. Scared, go to church type of thing. It is Sunday. We're going to go with the Mets team total over 3.5 plus 105. Wouldn't be surprised if they got it in the first 5. I think Alcantara struggles today. Just chinful of hat.
I like it. Where else? Where's the second spot that we're hitting up today?
The next play is in the Dodger game,
obviously,
and we're gonna go with the full. We're gonna go with the Dodgers team total. They're giving Bieber a lot of love. I'm on the other side at a flat 4. I'm taking the Dodgers team total over 4 at -114. I know Bieber's pitching. I do expect there to be runs in this game. I think we're getting a very low number. I think I think the books are giving Bieber a little bit more credit. But I do understand why it's priced the way it is. But I'm on the Dodgers team total at over 4 at -114. Obviously, we like the 4. If it goes to 4.5, don't touch it. If it goes to 4.5, I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't bet it unless you're getting it at plus money. But yeah, that's my second play. What are you wanting to start the day?
The one thing I've been eyeing up is for today's is I think it's almost time to fade Pivetta and Boston at this spot, because Boston, they rely on facing those lefties. They're 14-4 when they face a left-handed starter. Sure, you have Palante in his third start. He's only given up 1 run over 9 1/3 inning here. And I just think it's the time. Pivetta has been way too clean over his last 3. Today seems like the blow-up spot if you're going to give me the Cards at plus 137. I know Steven's liking the Red Sox today. I got to lock in the Cardinals money line at plus 137.
Let's go.
The over is tempting there too. The over 9 at -110. I could see both of them getting shelled to what Sosa is alluding to. A lot of eyes on baseball today. Nothing else really going. The bats will probably be hot.
Yes, sir. And I'm not touching the Yankee game. I do like the Milwaukee Brewers today on the run line at plus 116. If you want to be safe, take the money line at -135. I do like Milwaukee today against the Cincinnati Reds. I see a lot of people. On the Reds. I like Minor, but obviously he's had a long road over the last 2 years in baseball. So I'm fading him. I like Milwaukee on the money line at the -135. I do like him at the on the run line as well for the plus money at plus 115. And those are my official baseball plays for today.
All right, so we might be getting out of our wheelhouse a little bit here. We haven't ran this one past the spin doc, but I think there's a K prop on the board that I like today.
Is it in the Yankee game?
No.
Okay, all right.
I like Dane Dunning to get over 4.5 Ks at -125 today facing the Tigers.
He's hit the number in what, 5 straight?
He didn't hit it against Cleveland. We only had 1. His average is usually right around 4, which is where you hit it. But his 3 starts against the Tigers, he's clipped it twice with ease. The only time didn't come when he only hit 4 2/3 of an inning. The other 2 he cleared it in 5 and 4 1/3. He had 6 and 7 Ks. So the over 4.5. We'll have the first K prop from myself on the show. So I'll rock with 2 baseball plays today. We're only going to risk a unit to win like 0.75 since it's minus 125 and it's a K prop. So we're only going to risk 1.
Yes, sir.
What else is on the board today that we can talk about? Cobb coming back from the DL facing the Pirates because I saw there was a Giants comment. Not too many fields there. Phil's going for the 4-game sweep with Eflin facing whoever the hell is pitching for Washington. Traynor. Yeah, that one could get ugly. But Bryce not in the lineup. You've seen what happened with the bats recently.
Yeah, it's hard to predict with you guys. I mean, you guys have won. I talk about a team that like that walk-off saves you, because if y'all didn't walk off that night after that first loss, I think y'all would have been headed down a mudslide, but y'all recovered
It's the closer issue again. It's back in the forefront.
Well, the closer and the bullpen. The bullpen is literally a box of chocolates. You have no idea.
Yeah, Nola goes 8 strong, no runs, 8 Ks, and then once the bullpen comes in, Brad Hand, nope.
And like you said, the starting pitching is giving you guys a chance in a lot of these games, and the bullpen has just pissed it away. Like the fucking
shout out Kyle Gibson. Man's just been eating innings. But last one here, do we think the Braves get swept? Because it's Hendricks at home. We always have to mention that.
I would lean towards the Braves showing some resolve and not getting swept by the Cubs. But weather played a part in the first game. The winds were crazy. That's a tough one for me. I think if I had to lean, I would lean Atlanta. I think Atlanta fights off getting swept.
Hendricks doesn't like facing the Braves. 1-3, 6.44 ERA. His team's record's 2-4 overall. Does not like facing them. Usually gets ugly. Last 2 starts, both came last season in April. 7 runs in each.
Yes, sir.
Because Braves contact team, Hendricks contact pitcher. Braves team total is enticing, but I'm going to be staying off it. All right, let me load up the MLS plays. We'll get into that, and then we'll wrap it up with the F1. Since there's only 4 MLS matches, I can run through my thoughts on each of them quick. We have 1, maybe 2 plays if you guys twist my arm hard enough, just because every squad is laying a goal today. Got a bunch of big hungry dogs on the board today. So let's get into it. The first match of the day, Atlanta versus Inter Miami. Just stay away from it. It's going to be gross and ugly on the turf. Where my action is the over 2.75 in the Colorado versus NYC FC game at minus 110. You can go and try to tie in the New York City FC team total, but since that's laying at minus 155, I don't want to touch it. 3 times. Strange that NYCFC's already hosted. This will be their 4th game against the West. Not many times they get that lucky. 9 goals, 0 given up when a West team has traveled east. Colorado, the worst road team so far, 1 point in their 6 games. I'm seeing a 3-0 win for NYCFC. So if you want the plus money on the Rapids team total under, I don't hate that. Nashville is a team that looks like you should be backing at this point, even though midweek the resolve wasn't there against San Jose. Sporting Kansas City's thrown out like SKC2 because everybody's on international break there. So the play that you got to twist my arm is the Nashville team total over 1.5 at minus 120, just because they usually win games 1-0. But so we have 2 plays. I'll back the Nashville team total over 1.5. And then the late game on the board, Minnesota, New England. You can take the over if you want. Not too sure what to see from that one. Let's get into.
She heard dog and she's ready.
They're all plus 350 or more in the MLS today. So you could just sprinkle blindly, bet all 4. All you need is 1 to basically get your money back. 2, you got your Father's Day gift back. Let's get to F1. I believe this is the first time we'll actually be able to give out plays before the race starts. Canadian Grand Prix Verstappen on pole, minus 275, as you alluded to. Mercedes, I think they're sitting 4.8 or 4.7. You have Haas sitting 5.6, which is wild. What do you like?
To be honest, I think this ends up being chalk. It's not a very extensive course. There's a lot of straights, not a lot of crazy turns. I think Verstappen wins the race. I will be splitting a unit amongst three people though for for a podium finish. Those three people are Lewis Hamilton, Charles Leclerc, and George Russell. Russell's at plus 500, Leclerc's at plus 230, Lewis Hamilton's at plus 190. Leclerc is starting at the back of the grid, obviously starting 19th, but one safety car and he's back in the top 10. And Ferrari has been running so fast that there's no way to keep them out of any race unless their engine fails, like last week. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I know people are like a little shocked that Leclerc has these great odds again, or because again he's starting 19th. But again, it's one safety car, especially with this type of course where it's a lot of speed, a lot of straights. You're going to get some of the highest speeds you get on a race course ever. I mean, Canadian Grand Prix always offers that. So
So the one thing to play into that as well, Sosa, because you got Sainz starting at third, and he's minus 300 to finish in the top three. He has better odds than Sergio Perez, who's ahead of him in second. So that's where your theory of Ferrari liking this track or will be good on this track after double engine failure last week. It's a bounce back week.
They're so fast. And if you followed F1 over the last like 4 or 5 years, like it's Ferrari is fast again, which sounds, like I said, sounds crazy, but they're fast again. And when they're fast, the sport is better. Mercedes dominance over the last 4 seasons has been documented. Obviously Red Bull, Honda. I hate when people say Red Bull Racing. They fucking drive Hondas. Red Bull's been really good, but Ferrari being fast just changed the sport. It's just like when the Yankees are good or when the Lakers are good. You know what I mean? It's if I were to compare it to something, it just
makes when Matt Damon's stealing stopwatches and dropping nuts on the ground.
That too.
Fastest lap, then you have Verstappen at even money, and then you basically get everyone else plus 330 or greater. Is that a potential spot to sprinkle on Leclerc because he's plus 409, or you think Verstappen gets fastest lap?
The fact that Verstappen gets to start at the front of the grid immediately makes that bet a stay away.
He's even money.
Yeah, right. Because and that's why you get these.
So we should be back in Verstappen's what you're saying here.
I would would back Max. Again, but there's always a chance that either of the Ferraris can catch it late. You know what I mean? Because the thing about
when they space out.
Yeah, the thing about Verstappen starting at the front is that if he gets out in front like 3, 4, 5 seconds, he will easily get the fastest lap because it's so much easier. He has no traffic to maneuver, and he can literally just race against himself for 15 to 20 consecutive laps.
All right, then I got back at even money. I have to get my one F1 racing bet in, so I'll take I don't know what to call them, even money.
Max Verstappen. It's not that I don't like the guy. I just don't like the way that last year's championship went. If you follow the sport, you know that Lewis Hamilton was clearly fucking cheated on international television out of his 8th championship. And it is what it is. Like, I don't really care if anyone has an opinion on it, because if you watch the race and you watch what ensued during that race, they 100% cheated Lewis Hamilton out of a championship. So it is what it is. I think one of the Mercedes have a really, really good chance of making the podium. I think that Lewis, in order to get a podium finish today, he has to navigate the race early. He has to go after that podium early and get into a position early ahead of any of the wash. Because if he doesn't, and he could easily fall back to the pack. And let's be honest, George Russell's Mercedes has been fucking better than Lewis Hamilton's this year.
Ooh, so head-to-head matchup. Russell's plus 150 against Lewis. I know you're not going to bet it, but just for the odds-wise, for the people out there, because for most F1 races, if you have standard books, they only pit the people in the same team against each other if you haven't been betting F1.
Russell's had a better car. all year. He's had a better fucking car. So, I mean, take with that what you will, but I think I'm saying that kind of like as a mad fan, as like a salty fan, because like it's clear as day he's in the better car.
So the bet that everyone needs to know, Sosa. K-Mag minus 260, Lil Schumacher plus 175. Who's going to win the Haas battle? They're 5-6.
I'll never bet on the little baby Schumacher. You know how ass he is? He's so ass that they don't even identify him with his last name during the race. You know how ass you have to be at a sport because your dad was so good that they like everyone else uses their last name, and he's just such a disappointment to his father that they use a completely different abbreviation for him. So
they're just like we said, we can't.
And he's the one that fucked up the race last year. He's the one that fucked up the championship. Everyone fuck that guy.
And then K-Mag fucked it up 2 weeks ago or whatever.
Bruh, don't remind me. Don't remind me.
Akbar, thanks for tuning in. We started off with the MLB. I'm back in the cards as underdogs at plus 137. I got the Dunning over 4.5 Ks at minus 120 or 125. Either one of those prices, sorry. And then I'm rocking the over 2.75 in the Rapids NYCFC at minus 110. The Nashville team total over 1.5 for SC. And then wrapped it up with Verstappen fastest lap at even.
Yeah, I'm on the Mets team total over 3.5 against Alcantara. Said I'm fading him, or I'm just fading a lot of pitching today. I think there should be explosive offense today. The Los Angeles Dodgers team total over 4. And the other one was the Milwaukee Brewers on the run line. And since we've been on the fucking show, the money line went from minus 135 to now minus 145. So with that one, it'll be run line or nothing for me. But those are my 3 official Major League Baseball plays. And obviously, I'm splitting a unit amongst 3 people in the F1 race. Lewis Hamilton, Charles Leclerc, George Russell to make the podium. Ferrari's fast again. Don't be afraid to don't be surprised if Leclerc ends up top 5 or 6 within 20 laps of the race. So I would not be surprised. Ferrari is fast again.
So how are you evenly splitting one unit amongst? Who's got the 0.4 for the rounding between your 3 bets?
Probably
Just
George.
with you.
Probably George. I mean, I would like if like I'm gonna probably put a little bit more on George than the other 2, just because he has had the better car, and his teammate is.
It was a math joke. I wasn't asking you to do it because you had to do 33, 33, 33, and it's 99. I'm just trying to fuck with you.
I know. I'm over here like, what?
Tomorrow's episode will be coming back at you live at some point in the afternoon. The Monday baseball slate's always the worst, so we might have to do something a little bit more interesting. Wednesday is our 1-year anniversary from the first show of Daily Bread, so we'll go wild for that. And then on Tuesday, we'll be coming at you live 2 times, one for Daily Bread, the other time for Sunday morning quarterbacks. Maybe tomorrow we start sprinkling in the NFL talk to get everyone hyped for the Tuesday night show for the return of Sunday morning QBs.
And also, newsflash to anyone who is on the Twitter machine, Inside the Lines is a new Spaces platform show. It's going to feature Prop God, Delphi Commission, myself, where it's late night. We try to get you ahead of the lines of the baseball games the night before, get some early looks. Extremely important information from a day-to-day basis will be shared on there. So make sure you guys tap in. We're trying to help everyone. It's free. It's easy. And if you want the really, really, really good shit, join the fucking Diamond Club.
Have a great Father's Day. We out.